The sun peeked through the window of the little clay cottage, its golden rays gently waking the world inside. The first light of morning crept across the windowsill, casting a soft, warm glow that made everything look magical and new. It was the kind of morning that made you want to stretch, yawn, and snuggle back under the covers, just to soak in the comfort a little longer. The sunbeam painted a bright stripe across the kitchen floor, turning the cool tiles into a golden path. Dust motes danced in the light, swirling lazily as if they too were waking up and greeting the day. This sunny spot was the favorite place for Mama Cat and her kitten, Pip. Every morning they would find their way to this patch of sunlight, curling up together in its warmth. Mama Cat's fur was soft ginger, glowing even brighter in the morning light, while Pip's was a patchwork of white and ginger, with the fluffiest white paws you could imagine. Pip's tiny nose twitched as he dreamed, and Mama Cat's tail curled protectively around him. They loved their mornings together, basking in the sunbeams that made the room feel like a warm hug. The kitchen was filled with a gentle, peaceful silence, broken only by the soft sound of their purring. Mama Cat was already awake, giving herself a careful wash. She licked her paw and smoothed her whiskers, making sure every bit of fur was just right for the day ahead. Pip, curled up in a ball, dreamed of chasing butterflies in a field of tall grass. His little paws twitched as he imagined leaping and pouncing, his dreams as bright and lively as the morning sun. The smell of fresh milk and toast filled the air, drifting from the kitchen table and making Pip's tummy rumble even in his sleep. It was a scent that promised comfort and the start of a new day. Outside, birds chirped cheerfully, their songs weaving through the open window and adding to the peaceful morning. The world felt safe and full of promise, as if anything could happen. Pip's eyes fluttered open and he stretched with a tiny yawn, his back arching and his paws reaching out as far as they could go. He blinked sleepily, taking in the golden light and the gentle sounds of the morning. He trotted over to Mama Cat, rubbing his head against her side, purring softly. It was his way of saying good morning, and Mama Cat always responded with a gentle nuzzle. She gave him a loving lick, smoothing his fur and making sure he looked his best. Pip purred even louder, feeling safe and loved in the warmth of the sunbeam and his mother's care. Their mornings were always full of soft purrs, gentle licks, and the quiet joy of being together. In this little clay kitchen, every day began with love and sunlight. But today, something new glimmered in the sunbeam's path. A tiny, mysterious shape that hadn't been there before. It sparkled in the light, promising a grand adventure for Mama Cat and Pip, and filling the morning with excitement and wonder. Leaning against the wall was a tiny, shiny red bicycle, just Pip's size. It had 2 small wheels, a silver bell, and a basket for treasures. Pip's eyes widened with wonder as he crept closer, tail flicking with excitement. Mama Cat watched, purring softly, knowing this was a special present for her curious kitten. Pip sniffed the tires and patted the red frame. He tapped the bell, ting-a-ling, and jumped back, then giggled and rang it again. He imagined riding through the garden, ringing his bell for all to hear. The urge to ride bubbled up inside him. He looked at Mama Cat, eyes full of hope. She gave a gentle nod, her calm support making him feel brave. The shiny red bicycle was more than a toy. It was the start of a new adventure Pip was ready to try. With Mama Cat's gentle encouragement, Pip took a deep breath and climbed onto the little bicycle for the very first time. The bicycle looked so much bigger up close, and Pip's tiny paws trembled as he gripped the handlebars. Mama Cat's soft voice was calm and steady. "You can do it, Pip, I'm right here." That made Pip feel a little braver, even though his heart was fluttering like a butterfly caught in a jar. The seat felt high, almost like sitting on top of a mountain, and the pedals were strange and slippery under his paws. Pip wiggled, trying to find his balance, but everything felt new and wobbly. A flutter of nerves danced in his tummy, making him feel both excited and a little bit scared. He could almost hear his own heartbeat thumping in his ears. Pip closed his eyes for a moment and took a deep breath, just like the brave lions in his favorite picture books. He imagined himself with a lion's courage, strong and bold, ready to face anything, even a wobbly bicycle. He pushed off with one foot, feeling the bicycle sway beneath him. The wheels wobbled and the whole world seemed to tilt, but Pip held on tight, determined not to give up. Pip steadied himself, his heart thumping like a drum. He squeezed the handlebars, trying to remember everything Mama Cat had told him about balance and bravery. Mama Cat watched with a patient smile, her eyes full of warmth and encouragement. Just knowing she was there made Pip feel a little less alone and a little more hopeful. Pip whispered to himself, "I can do this," his voice barely more than a squeak. He took another deep breath, gathered his courage, and prepared to try again. This time he pushed the pedals with both feet. The bicycle lurched forward, wobbling and swaying like a duckling, learning to walk. Pip's tail stuck out for balance and his whiskers twitched with concentration. For a brief, magical moment, Pip was riding. The rug beneath him blurred into a swirl of colors and he felt a rush of excitement. He was moving all on his own, just like the big cats in his stories. But then Pip forgot about steering. The handlebars wiggled wildly in his paws, and the bicycle began to zigzag across the kitchen floor. Suddenly the kitchen felt enormous, and Pip felt very small. The excitement in his chest mixed with a twinge of panic as he realized he wasn't quite sure how to stop. The bicycle seemed to have its own ideas about where to go, veering left and right, making Pip's eyes go wide with surprise. Pip's confidence wavered as the wobbly feeling grew stronger. He wondered if he'd ever get the hang of it or if he'd always feel this unsteady. The adventure was suddenly a lot scarier than he expected, but deep down, Pip knew that every brave lion and every brave kitten has to start somewhere. The wobble turned into a wild wiggle. The front wheel jerked left, then right. Pip gripped the handlebars but couldn't steer straight. The world spun and the kitchen table loomed like a mountain. Panic replaced his bravery. With a tiny squeak, Pip lost his balance. The bicycle tipped and he tumbled onto the soft rug. The bicycle clattered down beside him, the bell giving a sad little ting. Pip lay still, stunned and scared. His heart pounded, ears ringing. He wasn't hurt, just shaken and small. The bright kitchen now felt big and lonely. He squeezed his eyes shut, wishing he could disappear. Shame prickled as he remembered his tumble. He didn't want to see the bicycle or his mama's face. A little tear rolled down his cheek. Pip let out a tiny, shaky mew, a sound full of surprise and fear. He lay trembling, hoping Mama Cat would hear him. The world felt confusing and overwhelming. The bicycle beside him was a silent reminder of his fall. He didn't know what to do. Should he get up or stay still? The brave adventurer was gone, only a frightened kitten remained. He whimpered again, a call for comfort. He thought of Mama Cat's warm fur and gentle purr. Just the thought of her was a flicker of hope. He peeked through his lashes, searching for her. That small, scared sound was all Mama Cat needed to hear. She was already on her way, swift and silent. Mama Cat moved quickly but calmly to Pip's side. She lay down beside him, making herself small and gentle. Her presence was a silent promise. "I am here." She nudged him softly with her nose. Then she began to purr, a deep, steady sound of comfort. The purr wrapped around Pip's fear, making it feel smaller. She pulled him into a gentle hug, her warmth and steady breathing soothing him. Her chin rested on his head, surrounding him with her familiar scent. In that moment, she was his whole world. The kitchen shrank back to its friendly size. Pip's heart slowed, comforted by her love. The fear began to fade. Mama Cat's calm was his anchor. He knew he wasn't alone. Mama Cat began a gentle checkup, licking Pip from head to tail. Each lick was a message. "I'm taking care of you." She nudged him to uncurl, checking his legs and paws with gentle touches. Pip looked up at her, trusting and calm. She checked for bumps or bruises, but found none. Satisfied, she focused on his feelings. The fall had shaken his confidence more than his body. She continued to purr, washing away the last tear from his cheek. Her care was the best medicine. Pip nuzzled into her fur, feeling safe. Her gentle attention mended his frightened heart. Mama Cat's love made him feel whole again. The scary tumble faded into the background. He was ready to rest. With the checkup done, Mama Cat curled around Pip, creating a warm nest. He melted into her embrace, closing his eyes in peace. The tumble felt far away, chased off by her love. Mama Cat groomed him slowly, each lick a promise that everything was okay. Her purr was a soothing lullaby. They stayed curled together, the world outside forgotten. The sunbeam moved, birds sang, and the kitchen was peaceful again. The bicycle could wait. What mattered was this quiet moment of love and trust. After any tumble, a mother's love is the softest place to land. After a long, warm cuddle at the door, Mama Cat gently led Pip into the cozy living room, her tail swishing softly as she walked. The familiar scent of home wrapped around them like a blanket, and Pip felt the last bits of his worry begin to melt away. The living room was filled with soft light and the gentle hum of comfort, making everything feel safe and welcoming. Pip glanced at the bicycle resting in the corner, its shiny wheels still and quiet after their big adventure. For a moment he remembered the excitement and the nervous flutter in his chest, but now, with his mum by his side, he felt steady and calm again. He realized that sometimes it was okay to pause and just be home. The adventure could wait for another day, Pip thought as he watched the adventure props set aside. There would be plenty of time for exploring and new discoveries, but right now he was exactly where he needed to be. With a happy little bounce, Pip trotted after Mama Cat, his tail held high in the air. The fear he'd felt earlier was gone, replaced by a bubbling happiness that made his whiskers twitch. He felt proud of himself for being brave, and even prouder to have his mum close. Mama Cat hopped gracefully onto the big soft armchair and looked back at Pip with a gentle, inviting purr. She patted the cushion beside her, letting him know there was always a special spot just for him. Pip leapt up onto the cushion, landing with a soft thump, and snuggled under his mother's chin. Her fur was warm and her purrs rumbled like a lullaby, making Pip feel safe and loved. The armchair felt like a soft, fluffy cloud, perfect for curling up and letting go of all his worries. It was their favorite spot, a place for stories, naps, and gentle dreams. Curled together in the golden afternoon light, Mama Cat and Pip purred in perfect harmony. The sunlight danced across their fur, and the whole room seemed to glow with peace and love. As Pip rested, he thought about the day's adventures. He knew that trying new things could be scary, but he'd learned something important. It was okay to feel afraid, and it was even braver to ask for help when he needed it. No matter what happened, his mother's love would always be there to pick him up, dust him off, and give him the courage to try again. That love was like a shield, keeping him safe from anything the world could throw his way. Knowing this, Pip felt a new kind of bravery growing inside him, a quiet, steady courage that came from being loved and understood. That knowledge was the bravest feeling of all, and it made his heart swell with pride. Safe and sound at home, Pip let his eyes drift closed, the gentle rhythm of Mama Cat's purrs lulling him to sleep. The world outside could wait, for now he was exactly where he belonged. As he slept, Pip dreamed of future adventures, of new places to explore, new things to try, and Mama Cat always by his side, ready to cheer him on and catch him if he stumbled. And in his dreams, just like at home, he was always safe and sound.